cannot live like this, baby. In hate.
You know, when you make it a habitual thing to see new movies, you have to accept that it's gonna be a 50-50 deal. Obviously, I sit through a lot of bad movies. I can usually laugh at their stupidity. Hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 tops. But upon my most recent trip to the local cinema, I just so happened to catch the preview for, well, you know.
Oh no! I don't want this to happen! No, I don't want it to happen! I don't want it to happen! I don't want it to happen!
Yes, indeed, another Avatar cliche bore fest is on the horizon, and look, I know some people really like these. I don't completely know why. I can see the first movie, it was somewhat unique. The Avatar concept mainly, protagonist being crippled, was obviously going to be a big hit, even though I still don't think it's that good. Visuals, world building can only go so far. But upon the sequel being almost the exact same thing, I kind of hope that people would, catch on. It was basically the same movie, again trying to draw you in with stuff. Lots of pretty stuff. I know it's not really the same. They threw in water and a really long whaling subplot. They took up a lot of the movie, because our community needed that. It was also a lot longer, 3+ hours, and let's not forget, we waited 13 years for this. Because again, water, it couldn't be done back then. I gotta say though, upon examining this trailer and the info we have on this movie, I'm kinda resentful. Mainly because it's also 3+ hours long, and the $250 million budget and 2 anticipated sequels to come does not ease the pain of having to sit through this. They're not fun movies to talk about. The issues don't come down to what they do wrong, they come down to what they don't do right. They eventually deliver a fun climax, but the road leading up to it is nothing of the sort. They rely heavily on how they look, the viewer being captivated, but doesn't have anything to do with an engaging story. An example from the last movie, I'm going to assume you've seen it. If you're watching this, you should have. One of our lead's 2 sons, I forget their names, one's rebellious, one's obedient, and the obedient one gets killed. Problem is, he doesn't hardly do anything throughout most of the movie. He's the least relevant of any of the main characters, so in the end, it solely relies on he's their son, so be sad.
That's fucking stupid!
That same attempt at writing will continue in the new movie, as we see them arguing, talking about not carrying hate. A completely new idea indeed, but it may be more effective if the audience cared about the damn kid. Instead, we'll watch female lead be not right for about half the movie. I can't wait. And probably take it out on the human kid, who I think had a stupid name because he's human, so his fault. And because it's his father, so guilty by association, I guess. That does lead into another amusing piece of storytelling that somebody thought was a good idea. By somebody, I mean the guy who directed Terminator, along with Aliens, and that was the human kid saving his father, who vowed to kill their entire family, and then tells him to fuck off. I know it's his dad, but did you not just witness the big water-themed set piece that left probably many dead? There's no emotional attachment to justify this. When they wrote this bad guy, balance was not a thing. So it leads to the issue of a lot of the third movie's conflict being completely avoidable. I'm not saying it's only about him, but him not being there would have affected stuff. He's gonna team up with the new Na'vi tribe called the Ash People, who use fire, thus the title. A slightly new idea for this franchise, but nothing about this trailer or the events from the last movie hint at anything new. Or good. Just a bunch of cliche tropes, overcoming hate, human kid probably feeling a lot of guilt, but that means nothing if you don't care about the thing that caused the grief, and if the reason for feeling guilty came from a fucking stupid decision. We see the antagonist making new plans because he was saved, and that makes it very hard to take it seriously. I also spotted some big creature that's surely being hunted, or maybe it's the same one, who knows. And there is one interesting bit when we see some humans. Last movie had hardly any of those, aside from the whalers, but I'd hardly call them humans. So, who knows what that means? Maybe they're being prosecuted back on Earth. That would be a predictable direction. And to those who like that kind of stuff, to each their own. By that I mean the movie, not prosecuting someone who's different. I get that nice visuals and cinematic scenes can draw in the audience, but in my case, I can't stand movies that don't do anything new. Especially when they're so self-indulgent, 5 movies of this length can only be that. And the worst thing is, they're not even fun to talk about. It wasn't fun then, it wasn't fun the second time, and if the third one is more of the same, it definitely won't be now. Maybe James Cameron can perfect his craft.
You gotta know your craft.
In a way that isn't filming or effects, actual competent writing. I don't see it happening, but I do want to hear your thoughts down in the comments, which are likely not pleasant, but still, if you enjoyed the video, please share it, consider hitting the like button, and subscribing is an option too. As is the gaming channel, has the same content with games, link in the description. I'm the Analyst, and remember kids, whaling is a thing. It's up to James Cameron to stop it, even if it means really bad pacing.